In the year 2004, Blockbuster was an unstoppable empire. Over 9,000 stores, 84,000 employees, and nearly $6 billion in revenue. It felt invincible.
Blockbuster Video, wow, what a difference!
But just a few years earlier, in a quiet meeting room in Dallas, two nervous entrepreneurs had flown in with an offer that could have changed everything. Blockbuster's executives listened, then laughed them out of the room. Little did they know that laughter would echo all the way to bankruptcy court. This is the tragic, true story of the rise and fall of Blockbuster movie empire. It all started in 1985 in a Dallas suburb. David Cook, a computer programmer turned entrepreneur, opened the very first Blockbuster video store. Unlike the cramped, dimly lit video rental shops at the time, Cook had a vision. Bright lights, wide aisles, a massive selection, and a family-friendly atmosphere. No more hunting through dusty shelves. This was going to be the McDonald's of movie rentals. The concept exploded. By 1987, Wayne Huizenga, the legendary businessman who had built waste management into a giant, saw the potential and took over. Under Huizenga's aggressive leadership, Blockbuster didn't just grow, it conquered. Store after store popped up in strip malls across America. By the early 1990s, they were opening hundreds of locations a year. In 1994, media giant Viacom bought Blockbuster for a staggering $8.4 billion. At its peak, the empire stretched across the globe, 9,000 stores, from small towns to big cities. People didn't just rent movies at Blockbuster. They made memories, date nights, family movie marathons, the thrill of discovering a hidden gem on the shelf.
Make it a Blockbuster night.
But behind the scenes, the real money wasn't just in rentals. It was in something far more controversial and incredibly profitable. Because while customers loved the convenience, there was one thing they absolutely hated. By the year 2000, late fees had become Blockbuster's secret weapon. Customers who kept a movie an extra day or two were hit with charges that could quickly double or triple the original rental cost. In 2000 alone, those late fees brought in nearly $800 million, about 16% of the company's total revenue. It was brilliant for the balance sheet, but for millions of frustrated families, it felt like a trap. I just wanted to watch a movie with my kids, many would complain, not get punished for forgetting to return it on time. Still, the empire kept growing. Revenue hit record highs. Stock was strong. Executives felt untouchable. Then, in 1997, a former math teacher named Reed Hastings had a frustrating experience of his own. He rented a movie from Blockbuster, returned it late, and got slapped with a hefty fee. Annoyed, Hastings started thinking, what if there was a better way? No late fees, no rush to the store, just movies delivered straight to your door. He teamed up with Mark Randolph, and together they launched Netflix, a DVD buy mail service with a revolutionary subscription model. At first, it was tiny. Blockbuster barely noticed. In the year 2000, with Netflix still struggling and losing money, Hastings and Randolph made a bold move. They flew to Dallas. They sat down with Blockbuster's CEO, John Antioco, and made an offer. Buy Netflix for just $50 million. Let us run your online operations. You keep dominating the stores. It seemed like a perfect partnership, a way for Blockbuster to future-proof its empire without taking big risks. What happened next would become one of the most infamous moments in business history. The executives listened politely at first, then they started laughing. According to co-founder Mark Randolph, Blockbuster's team didn't just say no, they laughed. They saw Netflix as a tiny, unprofitable .com gimmick.
Year 2000, Netflix stock was 79 cents a share. $50 million was probably overvalued for the company. They had a struggling DVD by mail business. That's it.
Why buy something so small when you already ruled the world? The meeting ended. Hastings and Randolph left humiliated, but more determined than ever. Blockbuster went back to business as usual, focusing on its massive store network and those lucrative late fees. Meanwhile, Netflix kept improving. Better selection, faster shipping, and the appealing no late fees. Customers tired of Blockbuster's penalties started switching. By 2004, Blockbuster was still at its absolute peak, $5.9 billion in revenue, but cracks were forming. Netflix had momentum, red box kiosks were popping up everywhere, and the internet was getting faster. Blockbuster did eventually try to respond. In 2004, they launched their own online DVD rental service. Later came Total Access, rent online, return in-store for a free new movie. It was a clever hybrid attempt, but it was too little, too late. Leadership changes added pressure. In 2007, John Antioco was pushed out amid disputes with investor Carl Icahn. James Keyes took over and tried to cut costs and stabilize the ship. Debt from previous years, nearly $1 billion, after Viacom's spin-off and share buybacks, hung like a shadow over every decision. The empire that once felt bulletproof was now fighting for survival against an enemy that never needed a single physical store. And then, in 2007, Netflix made a move that would change entertainment forever. In 2007, Netflix launched streaming. Suddenly, you didn't even need to wait for a DVD in the mail. With improving broadband, movies and shows appeared instantly on your computer, then your TV. The convenience was addictive. No driving, no returns, endless choice. Blockbuster tried to catch up with its own streaming experiments, but the brand was tainted. Customers associated it with late fees and outdated stores. Revenue plunged. Stores that once buzzed with energy started feeling empty. From 2003 to 2005 alone, Blockbuster lost about 75% of its market value. By 2010, the numbers were brutal. Massive losses, over $900 million in debt. Competition from Netflix, Redbox, and video-on-demand services had become overwhelming. On September 23, 2010, Blockbuster filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The once mighty empire was now fighting to restructure. Stores began closing by the hundreds. In 2011, Dish Network bought the remains for just $320 million. By 2014, the last corporate-owned stores shut their doors for good. Thousands of employees lost jobs. An entire industry icon faded into nostalgia. Today, only one official Blockbuster store remains a quirky tourist spot in Oregon, where fans still come to reminisce and rent a few DVDs for old times' sake.
Being here is kind of like cool because it's the last one.
The empire that ruled Friday nights was gone. Blockbuster didn't die just because of Netflix. It died because it refused to see the future until it was too late. It clung to a business model built on punishing customers with late fees. It dismissed a tiny disruptor as irrelevant. It carried heavy debt that limited bold moves. And when it finally tried to adapt, the momentum had already shifted. Netflix, on the other hand, stayed obsessed with customer convenience. It pivoted ruthlessly from mail to streaming to original content. It never stopped evolving. The lesson is brutal, but clear for every corporate empire. Technology waits for no one. Hubris is deadly, and the companies that survive are the ones willing to cannibalize their own success before someone else does it for them. Blockbuster had the stores, the brand, the customers, the capital. What it lacked was the courage to change. The story of Blockbuster is a powerful reminder that no empire lasts forever unless it keeps reinventing itself. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more real tales of rise, ruin, and hard-won business lessons. Now, coming up next is a shocking inside story of corporate fraud that shocked the world.